Vince McMahon planning a major return. Cody Rhodes could betray Jey Uso bad update for Cena fans. Fatu splits from solo Sikoa on SmackDown, and much more. Before that, subscribe to WrestleBuzz. Let's talk about it. Vince McMahon planning a major return. After stepping away from WWE leadership roles due to a highly publicized lawsuit filed by former employee Janelle Grant, McMahon has been keeping mostly out of the spotlight, but that might be changing fast, and not by accident. Former WWE writer Vince Russo recently shared something interesting during his appearance on Brodown with Mac Davis. Russo strongly believes that Vince is not done with the business world. In fact, he thinks Vince is already laying the groundwork for something big, something of his own. First of all, to me, he definitely is starting his own business, because if he wasn't, he wouldn't be showing up at the Super Bowl. He wouldn't be showing up at the Knicks games. He would be laying so low until this thing blew over. I think all part of him going to the Super Bowl and Knicks games, I think he's testing, putting his toe in the water and getting back out there to see how the people receive him. Russo also questioned the idea of McMahon quietly riding off into retirement. But you're right, Mac, Vince is a billionaire. What do you think? The dude is gonna sit out there and take up painting? That's not Vince McMahon. Vince is hoping and praying that this is gonna clear and this will go away, and he'll be able to just go from there. Meanwhile, reports say John Laurinaitis has agreed to provide evidence in the lawsuit against McMahon. Big Names qualifies for Money in the Bank 2025. The road to Money in the Bank 2025 is heating up fast, and WWE isn't wasting any time building out the card. Over the past few weeks, they've been running high-stakes triple threat qualifiers on both Raw and SmackDown, and this week's matches made a serious statement. On Friday Night SmackDown, Naomi pulled off a big-time win in the women's division. She went head-to-head with Jade Cargill and Nia Jax, two of the most dominant stars in the division. In the end, Naomi managed to survive the chaos and pinned Nia Jax to officially earn her spot in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Later in the night, the men's side delivered a chaotic finish of its own. Andrade faced off against Carmelo Hayes and Fatu, and while all three men were locked in a heated battle, interference tipped the scales. Solo Sikoa and JC Mateo showed up out of nowhere, causing a distraction that allowed Andrade to capitalize and steal the win from the United States champion Fatu and Carmelo Hayes. Both Naomi and Andrade are now locked in for the high-risk ladder match this summer in California. Two Money in the Bank qualifiers matches announced WWE has just confirmed the final qualifying bouts for the Money in the Bank ladder matches, and they're loading up Monday Night Raw with serious firepower from both the men's and women's divisions. After weeks of intense triple threat action across Raw and SmackDown, only a few spots remain, and this upcoming episode of Raw will decide who fills them. First up, CM Punk is stepping back into the ring in a high-stakes showdown against AJ Styles and El Grande Americano. All three men bring something very different to the table, but only one can walk away with a golden ticket to California. Then, over on the women's side, the energy is just as intense. Stephanie Vaquer is set to face Liv Morgan and Ivy Nile in what's expected to be a fast-paced, unpredictable battle. Liv brings the experience, Ivy brings the raw power, and Stephanie has been gaining serious momentum lately, and this could be the moment that puts her on the map. With just one more spot left for each division, the stakes couldn't be higher. These matches don't just decide who gets added to the ladder match, they shape the entire story of this year's Money in the Bank. One thing's for sure, after Raw, the full picture will finally be set. Cody Rhodes could betray Jey Uso. The WWE World Heavyweight Champion is heading into a massive tag team match on June 7th at the upcoming PLE in California. He's teaming up with Cody Rhodes to face John Cena and Logan Paul in what's already shaping up to be one of the most unpredictable matches on the card. Cody made his return at Saturday night's main event and wasted no time challenging Cena and Logan to this tag team bout. And last night on SmackDown, he showed up on the blue brand for the first time since his crushing WrestleMania 41 loss, but his presence came with tension. Because now, there's a wild theory going around that Cody Rhodes could betray Jey Uso right in the middle of the match, and not just for shock value, but under the orders of The Rock. This idea picked up steam after Cody dropped a line on SmackDown, reminding everyone that The Rock's offer is still on the table. That moment got people thinking, what if Cody never really turned down the final boss? What if he's been playing both sides the whole time? It would be a bold Homelander-style turn. Rhodes going full villain, selling his soul to The Rock, and crushing Jey Uso in front of the world. It's still all speculation for now. Bad update for Cena fans. On the latest episode of SmackDown, Cena made his presence felt in a big way. But while fans were excited to see the Cenation leader back on TV, a sobering update followed, one that hits hard for anyone hoping to see him regularly during his final run. As part of his farewell tour, Cena was originally scheduled for 36 appearances, before officially retiring from in-ring action this December. But after his surprise appearance on SmackDown this week, that number has now dropped. Cena has completed 14 appearances so far, which means only 22 remain on his calendar before he closes the book on a legendary career. Before Saturday night's main event, it was reported he still had 24 appearances to go, but his promo on the May 30th episode of SmackDown shaved that number down by 2 more. And what a segment it was. Cena tore into Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso on the mic, delivering a brutal message and hyping up his tag team partner Logan Paul in the process. But in the end, Cody and Jey stood tall, building the hype even further for their showdown at Money in the Bank. Still, the excitement is bittersweet. With just 22 shows left, every Cena appearance now feels like the ticking of a countdown clock. It was so sloppy. On SmackDown's ending, the show closed with a face-off between Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, John Cena, and Logan Paul, all 4 men involved in the huge tag team match at Money in the Bank. But while the moment was designed to hype up the pay-per-view, some wrestling veterans weren't feeling it. On the latest episode of Bro Down on Sportskeeda Wrestle Binge, former WWE writer Vince Russo and longtime manager Dutch Mantell shared their honest thoughts, and they didn't hold back. There was so much sloppy wrestling. Even the ending with those 4 guys in the ring, it was so sloppy. I felt it in the 3-way with the guys. Definitely felt it in the 3-way with the women, said Russo, clearly unimpressed with how the matches were executed. Mantell was more focused on the pacing and structure of the show. He added, "I couldn't tell that much difference from the other show. It's just a wrestling show, and they're just talking. They work actually no direct angles to the show. It's already made, so they're talking about the show. The announcers are talking the entire time, and I think they go too long." Despite the criticism, SmackDown still ended with Cody and Jey standing tall. But with Money in the Bank around the corner, the bigger story may be what happens after that match. Big day for Montez Ford. One half of the WWE Tag Team Champions just hit a major milestone, both in his career and in life. Montez Ford, one half of the Street Profits, is celebrating his 35th birthday this week. And while he's got gold around his waist and momentum on his side, it's the personal moments like this that really make it special. Montez and Angelo Dawkins reclaimed their spot at the top of the tag team division on the March 14th episode of SmackDown, when they defeated DIY to capture the WWE Tag Team titles for the 3rd time on the main roster. Since then, they've defended the titles in a brutal TLC match against DIY and Motor City Machine Guns, keeping their reign alive. Outside the ring, Ford's wife and fellow WWE superstar Bianca Belair made sure to celebrate him in the best way possible. She posted a sweet birthday message with a video saying, "Happy birthday, babe, a Montez Ford WWE 35. Dawkins was also featured in the birthday celebration, showing the strong bond between the longtime partners. But things aren't all party vibes for the Street Profits right now. On SmackDown last week, they were interrupted during their tag title match against Fraxion by none other than Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Six. The eerie faction destroyed everyone in sight, sending a clear message that the tag team division is no longer safe. Big year ahead for Montez Ford, and it's only getting crazier." Jacob Fatu splits from Solo Sikoa on SmackDown. On SmackDown, Jacob Fatu had a massive opportunity. He was in a triple threat match against Andrade and Carmelo Hayes, with a spot in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match on the line. With Solo Sikoa and LA Knight already qualified, Fatu had a shot to join them, and he nearly did. Late in the match, Fatu had Andrade down. It looked like it was over. But then, everything changed. Solo Sikoa and JC Mateo got involved from ringside, yelling at Fatu to repeat a move he had already nailed, even though he was seconds from winning. The distraction gave Andrade the opening he needed to steal the victory and secure his place in the match. After the match, Sikoa tried to smooth things over, saying, "Listen, I was just trying to help." But Fatu wasn't having it. Furious over the loss, he snapped back at Sikoa and made it clear he was done taking orders. "For the last time, I do not need your help." That single sentence drew a visible reaction from Sikoa. The tension between them is now out in the open, and just like that, Jacob Fatu has split from Solo Sikoa. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and share the video, and drop your thoughts and subscribe for more wrestling news, and WrestleBuzz will be back soon.